All right, in this video, I'm going to create an experience for you. So there's another section that we really talk about what an experience is and the different philosophies of why we call it an experience. But in this one, I'm just going to get down to the mechanics of how to create an experience. Again, two places that you can start with to create an experience. I can go over here to create content, click on experience, or I can come into the community and click on create an experience right here. Okay, so in this one, I'm going to call it a sample experience, but I'm going to use some things that I've already used before just so I can show you all the different areas of an experience. So I come in, I'm creating a sample experience, and I have categories. So the community leader will set categories. In this one, we only have one category. It's Convene communities. It's inside of the communities. You may see a lot of different categories for different communities that are very applicable to, what those communities are about. Now, I'm creating this experience on the main public side of the community. All right, here's very important for you to know. We want anybody and everybody to be able to create an experience. This is very important to Convene on the public side that people can participate. Now, there's certain aspects of Convene that make this so important that people come in and write about their different sensitive topics where they're actually looking for advice or maybe wanting to contribute. They don't really want to have a group. They don't really want anything that big, but they feel like they have an experience, something that they've gone through or learned or something they're passionate about that they want to share. So everybody can create experiences. Now, another thing on public experiences, they can be shared into a group. So if you're creating a public experience, understand that you're giving permission for people to take that into your group. There'll be other videos about why that's such a great thing, because if you're building content, you may want people to share your stuff in their group because you want to drive them to your group where you're building business, and we'll talk about that more in different places. Okay, again, your description, very important, does not need to be long because you are going to, really kind of build out what you're talking about in 2 or 3 sentences to make people interested in this. Again, a review, we do have a writer program, so I am the author of this one, but I can actually select other people that I'm writing it for. We have people that do that, that can help you create your content. You can pay them to do that, or you can actually become a certified writer through our writer program that we're launching and building up as well. I'm going to create this experience, so I'm going to put it in here. Well, okay, again, first thing I need to do, I need to put an image. So I'm going to actually go in and we're going to use this one. It has Jody Watkins on it. Jody talks about in this, you'll see about how she uses Convene to coach other coaches. So I'm going to save that image. It's going to ask me to crop it. So here it is. There's Jody. Scale your coaching business is what this experience is about. So I'm going to crop that image. There it is. I like it. Everything's looking good, and I will continue. Now, on this page, we have layouts. You can see I'll start over here on select the preset. So the complete experience. This has almost everything in it. Or we can go to other ones that have different things. So this is these are preset. If I select it, that's all. Like for example, in this one, I'm going to have a background. I'm going to have a test. The idea is to test your knowledge. So you can look at those and you can select them if you want to, and the areas that are checked will automatically be in there. You can see over here on this side that background is grayed out. There's always an experience background. I'll talk more about that here in just a moment. But in this case, on this one, I'm going to select everything. So we want to do it all because I'm going to run through each section to kind of show you what is involved in it. Even though I went and clicked on some of these and that one selected, it only matters if I click select preset layout or select custom layout. I'm going to select the custom layout. This next page is important, and I'm going to take a second to explain this. Do you want to submit this experience anonymously? We allow people to write experiences anonymously. Why? Some people write experiences about personal things, their battles with depression, alcoholism, drug addiction. In some of our communities. In our teen community, it might be that you're writing about being cyberbullied. That actually The reason why we allow people to write anonymously is an experience that my daughter wrote when she was 13 years old. She kept looking at me and she was saying, "Dad, they won't know it's me, will they? They won't know that I wrote this, will they?" And when I sat down and read what she wrote as a parent, it was about how people were bullying her through the Instagram process of posting pictures. So we allow people to write anonymously. Very important. And this is important too, all public experiences are reviewed before they get posted. So we're going to make this a safe place on the site, and just understand as well that if an experience has been submitted and approved and you change anything in it, it goes through that approval process. Again, I can co-author this with somebody. So if I wanted to write an experience and I wanted to write it with my daughter, let's say, or somebody else, I can co-author that with her. Why is that important? Because as people are going in and they're responding to the experience, that person is also getting notifications. So for example, if we have a discussion board or we have different parts in it, we want to make sure that we're keeping that collaboration going. So I can co-author it if I've worked with somebody. I do it a lot when I interview people and I write an experience about that person. I will make them a co-author inside of that experience. We have completion certificate. We're going to create one of those. I'm going to say, yes, we do want that. And we can actually put a due date. If I'm sending this out to a group, let's say maybe it's my soccer team that I'm sending it out to, I can actually put a due date for them and tell them when to turn it in, be completed. Okay, so I come to this page now and I say, okay, well, these are all the things that I have to do to complete this. So we're going to run through each and every one of these. Hopefully you've gone through the writer course and you understand how the writer works, but I'm going to show you how fast this could be. All right, so I'm going to go to the background. Everything has a background information. What is background information? This is where you teach the main portion of your particular course. Okay, so I'm going to put information in the writer program, in the background information that really kind of tells people what they're in for, what's going on. I want you to also notice this. I can actually put documents in here as well. So let's say I wanted to add in a study guide. Well, this is where I could do it. So I could add in a document in there. In this case, I'm just going to go and I'm going to click on it. I'm going to upload a file, and let's say I uploaded this picture. That was a document that I wanted to add. So there it is. I have that in there, and that's part of what they will get. Let's say it was a handout in this case. I'm still not done. I have to complete this. And so here we go. Now watch this. I'm going to do this one a little bit different than I did in creating a group. I'm going to go up to this this blog on our main site, convenecommunities.com, and I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to say, okay, this is it. I'm going to go down. I'm just going to highlight it, and I'm going to scroll to the bottom, and I'm going to copy the whole thing to include the video. This is one of the greatest things about the writer that we have inside of Convene. And I'm going to go back over here and to the writer, and I'm going to paste it in. Now there it is. It's in there. I have to come up here and I need to edit one thing, and that is this picture. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to click on the picture. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click on the picture in the writer area, and I'm going to actually adjust the size. I don't like it. I think it's too big. I'm going to make this 250. You see it adjust the size down. That looks good to me. I'm going to save it. So now the picture's smaller, but I don't like it sitting where it's sitting. So I'm going to click back on the picture. And that's not exactly what I'm going to do. I have it highlighted here on the picture. The picture still has highlighted around it. You can see that. And I'm actually going to come over here and I'm going to float this to the right. So there it is. It's floated to the right. Everything is in there. I'm going to hit submit, and look at this. This is amazing. Okay, look how this looks. I just copied it and pasted off the website. These links are hot. If I clicked on this particular link, it's going to actually take me over to that. I need to make sure I maybe check these and make sure that they're going to open up in a separate link, and I do that again. If I came in here and I wanted to check the links, I do that by highlighting it here, and I click on the link and I say that, and it's going to open in a new window. So that's how I would check on that. All right, I'm going to submit this again. Now I want to show you this. Here is the background information. This is how it looks. There's the video of Jody. There's the document that I have in there that people can click on. And then I want to go up here and look at the website. And I'm going to show you this. It looks exactly, almost exactly like what it would look like on a WordPress website. This is the Convene Community's website. And all I did was copy and paste it from there. Pretty amazing how the platform works. That looks great. All right, but I'm not done. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to say, well, let me see on my checklist how much I need to do, and I can see everything that I still need to do. I'm going to give a test. All right, so in this pre-test, I'm going to come in, I'm going to look at my preset options. I can put a title if I would like to. I can randomize the questions so people can't, cheat. I can randomize the answer order if I wanted to. And I can come down here and put instructions. So in here, I'm just going to put instructions. But if I wanted to type out instructions, you have 20 minutes to take this test or whatever it is that I want to put in there. I can add instructions. That's what the person will see when they come to the screen. And then I can come in and add questions. So how I add questions, I got test questions up here. I add new, and I can put, I'm just going to put true or false. And then for the first answer, I'm going to put true. I'm going to put false. Okay, so these are multiple choice questions. Or not multiple choice. Yeah, they are multiple choice questions, excuse me. And here I did a true false. Multiple choice. You can see I can put up to 5 answers, and I can also put the answer. Now they do not see a comment about the answer until after they've taken the test. But why do we do that? Because if I'm going to ask them a question, they take the test, I might want to expand on what the answer is, give them a little bit more information. Again, in the other section about why we do call these experience, we'll jump into adult learning theory, go into the Learning Center and go to that section, and I'll really explain why this site is designed the way it is. But I can put, a little information. Let's say I wanted to put, we all have a story, some everything, some information like that. They'll see that afterwards, and then I could say, okay, this is true. And now can submit it. All right, so there's the question. You see true. There's the comment. If I needed to edit it, I could come in here and edit it. If I wanted to delete it, I could delete it. Now, this is important. Once I have published this experience and people have taken the question, after one person takes it, you cannot edit test questions any longer because it's now in the database, and it will not let you take a question away or edit it. That particular capability goes away. If I wanted to add multiple questions, I can just continue to add questions up to as many questions as you want. All right, so that is the pretest. All right, so now I'm down to presentation. When I click into presentation now, you have the ability with inside of Convene to build a presentation or upload a PowerPoint. So I can build slides if I wanted to, or I can continue to put in a PowerPoint. Now let me explain this. This is one of the only things that we bring in. It's a PowerPoint player, and you can only have a file size up to 10 megabytes. That is a pretty good size, and that is per PowerPoint that you put in. Now, let's say I have some courses that are hundreds of slides, right, that I teach over hours in a day or maybe even 2 days. I can still make a presentation and I can make it work. So, because I could put section 1 and then that would be the slide that I have. So I like that. There's section 1. I can add a new page up here in the corner. And in this page, I could add a PowerPoint. Now, I don't have a PowerPoint readily available for me to grab, but I can add a PowerPoint to put in here. And slide 2 will be the PowerPoint player. So let's say this was the PowerPoint that I added. And I have that PowerPoint in there. It's going to play in a player. And then, so I save that. And then let's say, I want to add another slide. And this particular slide is going to be 10-minute break. Because I'm going to give everybody a 10-minute break, and we're actually going to come back. And then when we get back, I'm going to add one more slide. and this is going to be my second PowerPoint. Okay, so if, for example, you need to break your slides up to get it underneath 10 megabytes, you can break it up into sections. Each of my PowerPoint, each of my presentations when I'm speaking using PowerPoint, they are all into sections. I try to stick to that 50-minute mark, give people a 10-minute break, 50-minute mark, give people a break. That's how we've designed this for you. If so, in case you have larger PowerPoints, you can break it up. I'm going to save that. All right, everything looks good. And now I can come back in and let's say I wanted to look at the previous slide. I can check things out and see how it looks there. All right, I didn't have a PowerPoint in there, so I was looking for it. Okay, so that's all good. I like that. All right, let me return to the Experience home. And I'm going to go to the questions. Now, what are questions? Questions are open-ended questions. You want to ask people the who, what, when, where, and why questions. If I ask you, do you like chocolate cake? Your answer is going to be yes, or it's going to be no. If I ask, do you like chocolate cake? Why? Then I'm asking you to explain why you like chocolate cake. You're going to say, yes, I like chocolate cake because I think it's very tasty, or whatever it is that you're gonna say. I could say, do you like chocolate cake? Please explain your answer. Then people are gonna elaborate on it. The questions section of Convene is one of the most important sections of a Convene. It's because we all bring something to the table. We all bring life experience to the table, and we all have a story. So again, in the other section, when I talk about the philosophy of an experience, this section is extremely important. Learn how to ask good questions and write good questions. So if I came in here and I put this in and I say, how are you doing in school? I don't know. Then something like that, I submit it, and then that question is in there. People are going to answer the question. I might ask, do you have you ever, a great question I ask all the time in a lot of the experience, especially when I'm in the parenting community, is have you ever experienced anything like this? Because I'm trying to generate conversation. I'm trying to get people to understand, and I'll show you why here as we go through this. All right, so there's that. I've asked questions. Again, I can ask as many questions as I want. However, here's my advice. Never ask more than 3 questions. If you're asking more than 3 questions, you're going to get a great answer for the first one. You'll get a good answer for the second one. You might get a pretty good answer for the third one. When you get to the fourth one, they're tired of answering your questions. And so they're not going to answer it truly. Your answers are going to get really short. So never put more than 3. Put 1 to 3 questions inside of your experiences. Okay, what is a lesson learned? One of the most important sections of an experience, because this is where, as the teacher, as the content creator, as somebody who might have interviewed somebody, this is where I'm going to come in and I'm going to bang the table. And I'm going to say, okay, hey, these are the 3 main takeaways I want you to take away from this experience, from this learning opportunity, from this collaboration. So a lot of times if I do an interview with somebody, I'll come back from that interview and I will do something that is kind of a wrap-up video. So let's go in here and let's do that. Look at this video, Scale Your Coaching Business Wrap-Up. So this is actually a video that I did from the interview with Jody Watkins. I give my main points about that particular interview with her, what we talked about, and I may just come in, like in this case, I'm going to do it right now. I might just put a video. That might be all I put. Or I might type out some comments and put, 3 main takeaways or whatever it might be. But you want to talk about a lesson learned. Now think about a lesson learned as in some cases it is a life lesson learned. So what have I learned about life? What are some of the things that I have gone through that might have made this experience great? Now you see it's blurry like that. It's because I'm uploading about a 30-minute video right now. So I think YouTube's just blurry coming in. It's not a blurry picture, and it won't be for you as well. All right. So the lesson learned, do not short the lesson learned. Learn more about it. If you have questions, make sure you ask it, and I'll elaborate on it in a discussion board inside the Convene community or somewhere. All right, tests, now a post-test. Okay, you'll see in this one, now we have some different options. The test title is optional. I can actually add a minimum score of 70, let's say, so you have to pass it. Now understand, people use Convene for continuing education credit, so they have to use it for a passing score. There's certain reports, we'll jump into that in a different section, but you can get reports of how people did, all kinds of data that you can gather from your testing. I can decide if I want to give this as an open book or a closed book. If I give it to them as an open book, they get to go back and see the experience. It'll actually be at the top of the page. They can see the experience background, and they can see the presentation that they can refer back to. I can randomize the question, randomize the answer, and I can give instructions here on what they need to do for the test. So that's all I'm going to put here. I'm going to add that in there. And then again, creating the test is the same way. I can add as many questions as I want. So we're going to go true, false there. I'm going to say this one's true, this one's false, and I'm going to put the same answer in there, and there you go. Let's just say I did it that way, and that's the same thing. Here it is. I like that. Wait a minute. I want to change it. This answer should be false this time. All right, so there you go. Now I just showed you how to change an answer and edit it. Again, can't be changed once the experience is alive. Now, a survey settings. Now we have the ability to give surveys inside of an experience, which is great. And I can just do an experience with a background and a survey, a background and a test. You choose. You choose what you want to do. I can put a title, as we said. Now here's a key thing. Make the survey required. So is this a continuing education credit experience where they took the last experience of a module, let's say, and I want them to take a survey? Well, they have to take the survey if I make it required. They do not get to pass until they get to that. And so, for example, if I want them to take the survey before they get to the certificate, guess what? That's what's going to end up happening. They're going to have to go through the process. Do I want to show everybody the survey results? Yes or no? In some cases, you will. You know, I want to show, this is an experience, and I want everybody to see the data. So I can make every taker that took the experience see the data. It's bar graphs, it's open-ended questions with answers. But I can allow everybody to see it, or maybe it's just for the administration. We want to keep all these answers of this survey to ourselves. So I have that choice as well. I can put the instructions in here, and I can submit it. Once I've done that, it's the same process of making a test, except you'll notice here there are no right or wrong answers. So here, this is true, false. This one's true or yes. This one's no, let's just say. And I'm just going to put those two in there. So it'll come out, yes, no. That's what I like. Now, but here I want to make it so this is another true, false. Let's just say that's what it is. And I'm not going to put any answers here. So I'm going to not put any options in here as they make the survey. When I click and I submit that, you can see that it is short answers. So each person that takes the experience, they put their thoughts into that particular survey and that answer. All right. Again, just a great thing. Again, it's a survey. So these are taken. You don't know who put the answer inside of the survey. All right. Last thing I'm going to add is a discussion board, and then I'm going to come back over to the certificate. And so in this discussion board here, you want to continue the conversation. So I can come in, I can put, I'm just going to put DB in here, and I'm going to put a question or a comment. So inside a discussion board, this is where you want to make it so people continue the conversation. Now, you wrote the content. Now, I want you to think about this as a strategy, is that maybe you wrote the content. You want people to continue to collaborate and have access to you. You want them to continue to learn. So what you're going to see from the learning process that people go through, once they finish an experience, they may have come up with more questions. So once they've come up with those questions, where do they go to continue that collaboration with the person who wrote it if there's no means to do that? Well, the discussion board allows them to do that. So I'm going to add that discussion board in there. There it is. And you can see now I can submit the experience. But if I want to put a completion certificate, I can. Let's say I want to add some information to it. I can come in there and I can preview it. I can add a title. I can change the name of it. I can add custom text. What you'll see is a lot of times in the custom text is a lot of people with continuing education credits that they're giving, they will have to put some information in there, like their number per whatever authorizing organization they work with. So they might have to put some more information in the corner to talk about how this is, how many credits it is, and all of that different stuff for their certificate so people can turn it in. I can put a customized signature in here. What is my title? Creator, founder, creator of Convene. I could put that. I can sign the certificate. We use just a regular script for the signature, and I can type what I want that particular signature to say. In this case, let's say I put that in there. There it is, Matthew Curran. That's what it looks like. All right, if I wanted to add an image to it, let's say I wanted to add the Jody Watkins logo, for example. There we go, that's good. I'm going to put that in there. And again, it's not to scale. It'll look better once it's printed, but there it is. And what it looks like. Okay, that looks good. I can come in here and I can decide if I'm going to submit it. Public experiences go through an approval process. Private experiences do not. Two types of experience, public and private. If it is a private experience that is being created inside of a group, in that case, the group leader can self-approve their own, or if other people are writing within inside of that particular group, then that group leader is the approval authority as well. We do have site admins that do assist with that and can help out with approving things as well. So in this case, I'm not going to submit it because I don't want it to go out to everybody this experience in there, since it's just an example. So I'm going to delete it, and that experience goes away. Okay, thanks for watching this video. If you have other questions, continue to ask questions in the discussion board. If you want to know more, get with us. We'll be glad to sit down and talk to you. I know this was a long video, but it's important that you understand all the different aspects that you can add into an experience. Thanks for watching.